Hi, my name is Noelle Husband. I'm currently enrolled at Ball State University, class SPCE 638, section number 809, and this is my video submission for bibliography number 4. It's not the most professional looking, my background at the moment. I left my computer at work, so I'm currently filming this from my fiance's office. So I'm sure you don't want to be looking at the Swiffer bottle in the background. Swiffer box in the background. So I think I'll probably put the journal articles in the background. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. For this video assignment, I will be discussing domain I, which is personal supervision and management, specifically I.4 and I.5. There were a lot of other things I thought about, like tackling for this last assignment, but given that I'm on the last section of outlining for just for my own personal study guide, I felt it'd be most appropriate just to hit something at the very end. So getting into it for this is I'm so not used to the computer. Okay, so for this assignment, I gave you my brief introduction. I'll be discussing key findings of each article, discussing its relevance to the BACB test outline, and then I will summarize a conclusion to each one of those articles. So getting into my articles here. My goodness, where am I at? So getting into my articles here, the ones I selected were surprisingly enough the three that were exposed to us in that busy test prep. Pretty much all the ones by Reed and Parsons, which are great articles, but I chose them specifically because I remember reading them from other classes. So I was really familiar with them, so I thought just we'll knock it out. So this first article, which by Reed and Parsons, is comparing choice and questionnaire measures of acceptability of a staff training procedure. This exam studied two different ways to assess the acceptability of staff training procedures. Those two methods were a choice-based methods and questionnaires. Choice-based methods involve presenting individuals with specific outcomes and allowing them to actively choose their preferences. This approach was more dynamic in that sense, and it allows the individual to actively choose their preference. And it was just more reflective to real world decision making compared to questionnaires, which rely more on staff ratings or describing their preferences using predetermined scales or open-ended questions. So if I were to get a survey at work, I'm much more likely to complete it using a choice-based method and just choosing things and having oh, how do you feel about this? And where I have to just write in my question. So it's not surprising that we see this here in this article. The research found that choice-based methods were not only engaging, but also led to greater satisfaction and more actionable results. So saying what you're going to do and doing it. This connects specifically, like I said, to domain I.4, selecting supervision goals based on assessment of supervisory skills, cultural values, and variables and environment, as it highlights the importance of tailoring supervision to staff needs and preferences. By using choice-based methods, supervisors can better assess what staff value, leading to more targeted and effective training programs. This approach ultimately fosters a sense of collaboration, improving training outcomes, and just staff investment in the overall process. The second article selected was Reed, Parsons, and Green, Supervised Training Curriculum. This curriculum provided a comprehensive guide for supervisors to improve staff performance and satisfaction through evidence-based strategies, and more so emphasized techniques like giving regular meaningful performance feedback, implementing reinforcement systems, and promoting professional development opportunities for all the staff. This study related more so to domain I.5, identifying and applying empirically validated and culturally responsive performance management procedures, which focused on creating supportive and effective supervision environments. One key takeaway is the importance of feedback that is not just corrective, so not just telling somebody, what they did well, but also like making it reinforcing for them to like continue to keep doing. So helping staff see their progress and overall feel more motivated to do it more in the future. So positive reinforcement right there. This article reinforced the idea that supervision is a dynamic process requiring ongoing evaluation and support. And just again, applying these principles help create an overall positive environment, because what person doesn't want to be told that, they're doing a good job when they're doing a good job. The last article I selected, again by Reed, Parsons, and Jensen, is maintaining staff performance following intervention. So you have a staff member who's doing great. You want to keep it up. How do you do that? This article highlighted the challenges of sustaining staff performance improvements after initial training and interventions have ended. The authors suggested strategies like ongoing reinforcement, regular monitoring, and embedding natural contingencies in the work environment to help maintain performance. For example, supervisors can schedule periodic performance reviews. I know for myself, I have a quarterly check-in at my work with my floor supervisor, and then every year I have a my own personal self-evaluation, which I go over with my employer. Schedule periodic performance reviews and pair them with reinforcement opportunities like verbal praise, tangible rewards. Yeah, I just hit my 5-year review and I got a raise and a bonus. So this ties again directly to I.5, identifying and applying empirically validated and cultural responsive performance management procedures, emphasizing the need for a long-term approach to maintaining performance. One actionable suggestion to ensure that reinforcement is maintained is to establish a routine system. I really wanted to make that point of like, yeah, you're doing a great job and reinforce you for doing a great job. But what happens after that reinforcement is, you're satiated on it. Like, yeah, my raise is really great now, but when inflation hits again, like, then what? What else can I do? Consistently reward staff for meeting performance benchmarks. This helps ensure that motivation and engagement remains high, reducing the likelihood of performance declines over time. I think I've hit all the points. Thank you for joining me.